right, hey, it's Justin from Jacob Elk Reptiles, and I'm bringing you a very special Morphs 101 about some stranger things that are happening here. Today we're in Ham, Germany for the German show. You guys heard a lot about this show, and this is not my first time attending it. It's really exciting whenever I get to come over here. We have a very special project to talk about, and I hinted at it a little bit ago. This is the Stranger ball python, and I'm here with the originator of it. This is Roland with IRES. He's going to tell us a little bit about this gene. We're going to look at some amazing animals. But first, tell us how you kind of got started and figured this gene out.
In 2012, we bought two clown females, sub-adults, and we wanted to start our own clown project. So I bred my butter pastel to the clown female, and in the first clutch to hatch two old balls. So I was triggered, and these are not what we expected. And that's where Stranger Project started. So
all you're trying to do is make some pastel lesser het clowns, yes. Nice and simple, and you have some craziness.
Yeah, that's it. Exactly.
That's how so many projects start. And the amazing thing is that a lot of these animals that we have are carrying these genes in them that we don't even know about if people took the time to sit there and work with it. So you made those amazing oddballs. You couldn't explain why they looked the way they did.
I couldn't.
And so what did you do next?
Well, we're very lucky because both were males, so then that's a good start for a new project. And what we did, we put it on several normals, of course, to try to see if we could reproduce it, and we put it into clown. And then you were very lucky because in the first clown clutch we hatched pastel stranger clowns and butter pastel stranger clowns.
I remember the day those hatched, actually. I remember the day you put them on Facebook at least.
Exactly, the whole world.
Yeah.
That was IRES reptile.
I remember where I was when I first saw the picture. I was driving from Oklahoma to Georgia. I was on vacation. I was driving back, and I saw the pictures. And the first thing I did is I picked up the phone and called a buddy and said, "What is going on with these things?" I think the second phone call was someone over here in Europe to find out, hey, do you know this guy? Can you talk to him? Maybe he wants to get rid of one for cheap because he has no idea what it is. You knew what you were onto, though, so there was no getting in that way.
No, I do understand ball
yes.
Yeah, I do, but still, it was very lucky, of course.
Yes.
It came out of the blue. Right. We love the animals. We started with 4 geckos in 2002, I think. And from there, it came further, and the passion is still there.
Right. Well, if you're passionate about the animals, you kind of want to see the gene do as well as it can, not just for yourself, but to be appreciated to its full extent, which means you can't just let it go and let the crazy, monopoly money come out. You have to take it one step at a time and let people appreciate it, let it go into hands of people who want to actually work with it more, make it better, and not just exploit it and make tons of money instantly. So that's what you're doing. You've released some females now, and eventually maybe some people will get the males if they invested early with the project.
This is the first season we are going to release males, but only to people who already invested in a female.
That's great. Yeah.
And a max of 3.
Okay, that's awesome. Yeah, that's good. We're going to see a lot of really cool stuff come from this project in the next few years. And finally, some people other than this guy will be making some amazing stranger stuff.
For sure.
So we're going to show you guys some of the cool combos here. We're going to do a quick recording and talk about some of the neat things and just see actually the animals that have come out of it so far. All right, I'm seeing we keep all these snakes corralled here to keep them on video for you. This is the single gene of the stranger. This was kind of a snake that we all wanted to see originally, and you didn't have a lot of them to start. You were having a lot of these combos, but this is what they look like just by itself, just straight stranger. And you see it's very dark, deep colors, kind of a stripe starting, and that stripe is kind of variation among them from what I've seen. But they have amazing blushing here on the sides. And what I've seen with a lot of these dark mutations that are floating around the industry is they usually have a really clear belly. But this stranger has a fairly typical ball python belly, which is a little bit unusual for some of the morphs out there. A lot of times they have a clear belly. So it's kind of a differentiating factor from some of the animals I've seen that have a similar look. It's a really quite amazing animal. You had no idea that you'd hatch something like this. At first, did you even get a single gene in the first clutch of them?
Yeah, there was.
You got one?
Yep.
Okay.
2 old balls, 1 butter pastel stranger. Het clown.
Okay.
And stranger het clown.
So that's when you knew for sure there was definitely something going on.
I didn't know for sure, but I was hoping it.
Yes.
I knew for sure when I bred it for the first time.
Hey, we all know how that feels to hope that you're onto something really big.
I was really excited.
Yes. So next thing we're going to show you is a couple combo with the stranger gene, and then we're going to work our way into the actual visual clowns, which is what really set this project on fire is when those clowns were made. Clowns are so hot that anytime you can make something amazing in the clown gene, everybody pays attention to that morph in a weird way. So let's move on to the second animal here. Okay, so this is the animal, not the exact animal, the combo that Roland saw on that first pairing to the original clown female. Now this is a pastel butter stranger, and you can see right off that the stranger is changing this animal really dramatically. I mean, I don't have to tell you guys know what pastel butter looks like, but it is just amazing the amount of color, the amount of fade coming up the sides. And you see how the alien heads are mostly floating up here, and as they get further up the snake, they kind of they all connect together into the neck. But just the fade on the sides, how it starts out really, really, really light, goes around the alien heads and comes up here to that stripe. It's just, it's really quite amazing. So I mean, you see this animal, you know it's something serious at that point.
I really hoped.
Yeah. I mean,
turned out pretty well.
it's incredible.
It's incredible, indeed.
It's incredible. So this one is a later generation version of it. But you see, it seems like the stranger seems to work really, really well in the butter lesser complex.
For sure.
And you're going to find out this year, you said, with Mojave potentially, what it can do.
We're trying more things in the bell complex.
It seems like that bell complex just fits perfectly with the stranger gene. It really brings out the best qualities of it. Okay, so this is the result of when you bred the, I'm going to make sure I say it right, pastel butter het clown back to, you had pastel butter, I'm going to get this right, stranger het clown to a clown.
Exactly, yes.
You were able to make the first pastel butter stranger clown. And this is the combo that really got my attention when you hatched this one in the pastel stranger.
Together with the pastel strangers, indeed. They were in the same clutch.
They were extremely white back then. All this pattern, the snake's not going to hold very still, but extremely white through here when they first hatch, which is pretty common with the clowns. What I found is that a lot of the clown combos, especially if they have pastel, turn extremely yellow as they age.
As they age, yes.
Yeah. And so the amazing thing is just on this is just how spread out the pattern is. If you didn't know clowns, you wouldn't know it's even a clown just based on looking at it. But the pattern's spread out. It's kind of sporadic and just wild on the sides. Really unexpected results when you look at the animal, the stranger by itself, that you get to this point. The clowns are just such a big pattern changer that you can put some relatively normal genes to them and it can have wild results, which is why the clowns are such a big, amazing project. It's like having an entire different species to work with because they're so different than regular ball pythons that all the genes inside them will make something that's very different than a ball python combo would look. And this is just a perfect example of that. So when you hatched this, what was your first thought when you hatched that?
That was my first thought.
Combo.
Probably like, whoa, what's happening here? Something like that. I saw of course I cut the eggs open at 53 days. Mm-hmm. Then I already saw some heads and I said, whoa, what is going on? I really want to see this.
And how long did you make us wait before you showed it online? Those
Not
first
that
pictures?
long. I showed the first pictures before they shed.
Really? Okay. And did you know, at that point, were you fully aware of how great they were, or did all the comments that rolled in really drive it home to you?
No, I already knew because one clutch before this one, that was a pairing from the old normal, which is stranger right now, to a normal. And there were those odd snakes in. So I already knew that it was, you could reproduce it.
Mm-hmm. So you knew it was a significant gene.
And then the clutch after you hatch the pastel stranger clowns and the butter pastel stranger clowns, and then
Well, it's animals like this and genes like the stranger clown that kind of everybody who is a true ball python enthusiast dreams about. They want to dream about being a part of a project or creating a project that has their own kind of stamp on it and is special and gets recognition, and that's been this project from the very beginning. And so many times when you see a gene come out, it's replicated somewhere else too at the same time, and that kind of shortens the life of it a little bit. But this is something that so far nobody has been able to say, oh, I have one of those in my collection already.
This is also why I put it on the internet pretty fast already. Because if somebody already bred it, then say, I have the same.
Right, but that's never come forward.
It never came forward.
Yeah, there's definitely some similar animals I've seen to the stranger, but I've also seen those same animals be bred and not have these results. So it just shows that even though animals can look similar, that doesn't mean that
probably if
with the same genetics.
Probably if the Butter Pastel strange hair clown wasn't in that first clutch, we could have missed the normal.
Right. You maybe thought,
it's not normal, but you probably.
It's funny how sometimes it feels like, and I've been talking about this a lot lately, how it seems like a twist of luck, the happenstance of getting a certain thing will kind of change the entire direction of a project.
For sure.
The fact that you hatched boys first, for example, the fact that you got a combo that was amazing enough for you to really take notice, first of all, the fact that they were boys, the fact that you're able to breed them right back to clowns, sometimes it feels like it's providence the way it works out on some of these projects. And on the other flip side, sometimes you feel like maybe some projects never became what they could have become because of poor odds or someone didn't recognize something because it didn't hatch out the way they expected it to. Okay, we have two more animals to show you, and these are animals that the genetics of them haven't really been completely released. Roland's going to keep a few secrets under his belt here, but this thing is just incredible. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say it's a clown combo.
For sure.
Okay, so I'm already onto it. Just look at that pattern. Look at that fade. This is clearly a stranger clown combo, but the actual details of why this one is so crazy, so aberrant, so different, we're going to have to wait a while to find out. But it's got all those amazing features. It's got the striping, the connected sides, and that fade that goes from the belly all the way to the top. And it's amazing how it goes white, 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 and then it just turns this really rich color before it gets to the dorsal. An amazing animal, and really example of how there's still a lot of cool things left to do with this project, and even in the clown. And outside of the clown, it's pretty much wide open as far as all the cool stuff that it can still make. Roland, I'll let you tell them about this amazing snake.
Yeah, what can I tell about it? I had a guess, but we already talked about it, and you think it's different from what I think.
Yes.
So we have to find out.
We have a difference of opinion on what's in this animal, but that's what's going to make it exciting, and I'm told that I get to have the animal if I'm correct.
That's a good one. We can talk about it.
Yeah, this is amazing. Just the color of that animal and the cleanliness, Roland says he has no blade stuff in his collection, but we do see reduced pattern clowns pop up just from regular clowns as well sometimes. But this is just amazingly clean and bright and pure. And I think as an adult, it's just going to keep getting better and better. I bet it's already improved.
I think so, because what we agree on, we both know there's Enchi in it.
Yes.
And we all know Enchi makes them better over age.
Enchi is a really underrated gene in general. I mean, I say that. It has been underrated. I think people are getting it now a little bit. And in clown, it's a major cleanup, a major sharpening gene of the pattern. I really love to work with the
Enchi gene.
It's amazing. And when you get super Enchi, even better.
For sure.
It's something, a lot of the codoms we have, we can't make into super forms because it goes a white snake or it's too faded or something. But the Enchi's an animal that you can throw into the super every time. It's going to make it even better.
And what I love, over age, your snake's getting better.
Yes.
Most of the snakes don't.
Yes. And who doesn't like gold in their snakes, right? That's what super Enchi and Enchi bring in is gold.
Yeah, it's crazy.
All right. Thanks so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed learning a little bit about this really cool project. Something it's been out there in pictures and everything, but I hope the videos really show off the color and the amazing just pattern and craziness of these animals. Big kudos to Roland for working on this project, for developing it and making it into what it is today. I hope you guys check it out. We can actually find out a lot of information on his website, including pictures of all the animals we talked about, the original moms and the original offspring and what came out of them. And so you guys can fact check me there because all the information's there as well. Tell us your website name.
It's www.iresreptiles.com.
Or if you have a hard time finding it, just put in stranger gene. There's only
Google,
one.
yeah, it's good.
There's only one. It's amazing. So check it out online, and thanks again for watching.
Thank you.